Hi, this is Danielle Dubois. I'm a teacher at Stevens Middle School, where most of my students are ELLs. I recognize and appreciate the contributions of a diverse group of immigrants who have joined our country. They have departed from their home, their relatives, their culture to look for new and better opportunities. This journey must be very hard. I can't imagine how brave they are to leave everything they know and to come to a place where they have to start over from the beginning. Contributions of immigrants include helping America with its annual population growth. Why is population important? Because without enough population, our economy will suffer. And if our economy suffers, then we can't pay for important things like our schools. And, America's annual population growth of 1% is below our average growth rate of the last century. This means that without immigrants coming to America, our population would shrink. The consequence of reduced population is that we would not have enough people to fill jobs. Currently, in places where there is a low immigrant population, this is happening. For example, in Bozeman, Montana, where I am from, there is a low immigrant population. Many stores cannot get enough workers to fill jobs. Posted on business doors all over town are help wanted signs. One popular local restaurant had to close every day at 2 o'clock because they could not get enough workers to fill the open positions. This is an ironic situation. Popular tourist town with shopping as an attraction, but they cannot get enough people to fill the jobs. In contrast, in my town of Pasco, our businesses do not have this struggle because we have plenty of labor. Having a strong labor force is a local, state, and national issue, and I recognize how important our immigrants are to contributing to our economy. Immigrants fill high-skilled areas like medicine, computer science, and also lower-skilled jobs like hotel restaurants, construction, and agriculture. Another contribution is that immigrants revitalize local, state, and national areas that have declined. For example, immigrants have revitalized downtown Pasco. With a shift of people moving west in our town, immigrants moved in to empty buildings, renovated them, and made downtown interesting with cultural food and festivals like the Fiery Food Festival. New York City is another place where immigrants have moved into declining areas and improved those areas as well. But I think this has really happened all over the country and in different cities. In turn, immigrants pay taxes and they spend money in the local economy. This contributes to our tax base, which pays for schools and roads, just to name two things. Most importantly, immigrants are the backbone of this country. We are a nation of immigrants. We have brought our ethic of hard work and new ideas to create this great democratic country where we have opportunities that we did not have in our homeland. This takes me to my students. This is why many of their families have come to Pasco for jobs, for safety, for education, and for a better future. My own ethnicity and culture is that I am a mix of French, Scandinavian, and Irish immigrants who came as poor laborers. My family on both sides of my parents made many sacrifices to improve the lives of their children, and then this improved the lives of their children's children, and I have benefited a great deal from their hard work and dedication to making their dream come true. I have learned to connect my background with my students' experiences. As I've been a teacher, I really look at what they're going through, and I think about what struggles did my family have? And I really never thought about that before I was a teacher. I see many struggles they have, and it has made me wonder about my family's struggles. I know the road to a better life takes time, but I know that their hard work will pay off. It will bring many good things to them. Knowing my students' struggles and acknowledging my background has influenced my teaching practices in a number of ways. Number one, I've learned to put my students first as people before they are students in a classroom. So my relationship with them is really the most important thing about my job. Number two, I consider their home life when I'm teaching and how it impacts their learning. I think about if they're homeless, if they are doubled up and living with another family. I think about the situation of the parents if they have shift work and are not home when my students go home. I also think about the lack of help that my students have, so I do not assign homework. And I make myself available so that my students can get help from me. Number three, I'm flexible with my timelines because I know that things going on at home impact their lives a great deal in class. And the last and probably the most important maybe of all is that I'm very encouraging about their future. I talk a lot about looking into furthering their education once they're out of high school. First of all, graduating from high school is the number one priority. And then thinking about TriTech or CBC Running Start or Washington State University here in town, or other options we have in the state of Washington. The last thing I do is I really try to talk a little bit in my class throughout the year about politics and running for office, or them running for office someday, or them paying attention to political issues that they care about and voting for people who whose ideas align with what their ideas are.